Okay, we're here. We're here. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here for Tuesday, October the 4th, 2022. Trying to keep on top of here a number of developments. I just caught a little story about Highcroft Mining. You might remember the name Highcroft Mining. That's the mining outfit that AMC invested into, the silver mine in Nevada. And people are wondering why on earth would AMC invest into a penny mining stock with some other investors, and the shares went from 20-30 cents a share when what they were trading at before the deal was announced. I think AMC is committed 50 million and another outfit committed 50 million, and it was $100 million investment. Anyway, the stock went to 350 a share quickly, shortly. For within a week or two, it was back to the $2 level. Then it was at the 150 level. Now the article that I read today says the stock has not traded above a dollar and has closed below a dollar since the middle of August, and it is now in technical violation of NASDAQ listing rules. What it means is a stock has to close above a dollar a share for 10 consecutive days once it breaches this rule to not get delisted. Now, they have until, I don't know, another month or something to get their act together. If the stock cannot rally above a dollar a share, and short sellers are going to be all over this to not let it happen, the stock might be delisted or notified of delisting on NASDAQ. What does that mean in reality? What's the bad news? The reality is that the stock will then have to go what's called onto the pink sheets for listing. That's an over-the-counter market. That's a step lower. It'll still trade. People can still buy and sell it. The difference is that if the stock rallies higher, it can't be margined easily. Many brokerage firms will not allow margin at all, or many brokerage firms will not allow marginability on pink sheet stocks. It's still a way for the stock to trade, technically speaking, but usually what this means is it's a setup where it's possible that before the stock is delisted off of NASDAQ, the company won't let that happen. What they'll likely do is propose a rollback, a split, a reverse split. And they might do a 5-for-1 reverse split where the stock will attempt to trade at, let's say it's trading at 65 cents right now. They'll attempt to trade it at $3 to $4 a share. They might do a 10-for-1 split and try to have a trade in that $6 range. If the company doesn't make money and the company is losing money, and the prospects are that the company is going to go a long way before they get anywhere with their mine, and they're going to need hundreds of millions of more dollars to redevelop their mine. And again, I don't know the answer to this. It could mean that the stock could go from that $5-6 range that they were hoping it would trade for and trade at like $2 or $3. It will still be NASDAQ eligible. It will stay on NASDAQ, because for it to go now down to a dollar would mean it would go to a dime at current levels, right? And so that might be the case. I don't know anything about any of that. I just note this morning the headline came out about the company's stock being notified, the company being notified that their stock is in breach of listing requirements because of its low price. It doesn't help that the AMC stock itself is getting the crap kicked out of it, and doesn't help that AMC went ahead and did a full-blown 100% dilution of its investors' capital by issuing preferred shares with no par value, no voting rights, no hope of ever becoming a common stock, and they didn't raise a single dime doing any of it. So I don't know how, why, what, where. It's just a terrible, awful mess of an investment that AMC has become. And if you look at the common shares, they're $6.97 this morning, and the APE shares are $2.50 this morning. So we're talking about a $9.46 combined market value for AMC shareholders, when before the split and the rumor about this dividend thing caused the shares to reach $26 a share. The company could not raise one thin dime from any investor when it hit $26 a share. Why? Because the shareholders themselves, the actual diamond-handed shareholders that were out there, would have forbid the company from increasing its authorized capital of common stock. If they would allow the company to raise, to issue another 2 or 3 or 400 million shares of common stock, if they'd allowed that a year ago, they could have selectively raised 20 million here, 20 million there, 50 million here, 100 million here, and just knocked off the debt bit by bit by bit. But right now, they're 5.4 billion in the hole, and they can't raise a damn dime from anybody. And interest rates are going higher, have you heard? And so AMC is in just a real bad spot. So this Highcroft mining thing, the investors of Highcroft, they know the bitter reality. AMC isn't going to put another dime of their money into Highcroft. They have no more money to put in there. Every dime they've got, they got to hold on to it to survive as a movie chain. Their competitor, Regal, has declared bankruptcy. It could well be that Regal, when they come out of bankruptcy, might be charging $2 a ticket less for a seat than AMC is charging, because they have no debt to pay anymore. They've been released from their obligations as a reorganized Chapter 11, whatever, which would then put the heat on AMC. How is AMC going to charge $2 a seat more than anyone else? This is bad news. It is just awful, and hence why I don't recommend buying AMC. I mean, just another reason. Okay, enough of that. I don't want to pick on them too much. Look, we're up 387 on the Dow this morning on this continued dead cat bounce. There are no surprise, but I find it unbelievable, but it's no surprise. There are the 8-second attention span commentators out there who, I don't know who pays these guys. I don't understand how these people get a job from any reputable outfit, except to say that it's likely that those who pay these people to write the garbage they're writing are 8-second attention span people themselves, or they are a front for certain groups to pump the market, convince average investors to make stupid investment decisions. I just don't know. I can't prove it. I can't point at it. I can just go, are you kidding me? With some of the stupid headlines that are coming out and comments coming out from some people. Anyway, there was a headline that I saw, and I'm just kind of looking at it here. Oh, yeah, it was a story in Barron's. Headline: Treasury yields fall on hopes the Fed won't hike rates as high as feared. Brian Swint wrote this. Who the hell is Brian Swint? Some guy at dowjones.com. That's a reputable outfit. What's this guy doing? Now his argument might be, hey, I didn't make up this story. I'm just commenting on what I hear. Well, man, you are wasting everyone's heartbeats here talking about crap like this, because this is dreamers out there like you can't believe, who actually think that the Federal Reserve of the USA is going to suddenly stop raising rates because of what? The Bank of England's having trouble with bonds? That's not going to do it. Inflation has gone to 2% overnight? That's not happening. Housing prices are, under pressure, and mortgages are a little too high. Maybe we should not going to have. The Fed is going to raise rates 0.75 of a percentage point this month. They're going to get to their target rate. They want to crush inflation, and they want it over with as soon as possible. They're not interested in playing it's kind of coming down, so we're going to ease off now, and it'll be just fine. Everyone we'll all get along. It's not going to, no. These people, whoever these people are, likely are so young. And again, I'm not mad. I'm just telling you what I see. They're so young out there. They haven't been through what we're now going through in their adult lifetime. They're kids. They're 30-somethings. Maybe they're 40-something. Probably 30-something. I don't know about this guy, whatever his name is. How old is he? I don't care. But where his sources are coming from rookies. If you haven't got 20 years experience in the bond market, you're still a kid. And they're coming from these trading desk guys who are morons. They are so focused on their little world, they don't look at the outside picture. And I get it. I get it, because when you can make $1 million a year, 2 million a year with bonuses and what have you, and you can have Las Vegas weekend parties, and you can go to the Hamptons, and you can buy a second condo, or you can enjoy yourself for the weekend in Paris with your girlfriend because you're making big money, and fly over there and back in business class or first class. You're in another world, okay? There are what you guys don't get. Maybe you don't get. I hope you do get watching me, but what the world doesn't understand, the 99.9% of the market, they don't understand how much money these guys make. They don't get it. They hear that, oh, well, they make like 200,000 a year. No. These bond traders, hedge fund guys, there are hundreds of thousands of them around the world, many of them, okay? And they fight like hell to get these juicy jobs, to manage other people's money, and they get a percentage of other people's money when they manage it. And the better they perform with that money, the bigger the bonuses get. And so there are individuals out there who are worth $20 an hour at a McDonald's if they're lucky. All right. They're on bond desks, hedge fund trading desks. They're in teams of coming up with ideas. They're summer option writers and what have you. These folks are making millions of dollars a year, millions of dollars every year. And after 15 years of making millions of dollars a year, you get full of yourself. Okay, you can't help it. You get so full of yourself, you get over the top confident in what you're all about. You think you're invincible. And you begin to note that when you say something, other people go, oh, well, that's what he said. That's what she said. They must know what they're talking about. They have 8-second attention spans. What do they do when they have a few minutes in the bathroom? They play video games on their phones, okay? They're at home playing video games. They're kids. They're kids. They're not 68-year-old, 67-year-old veterans who've been around a long time, maybe too long, maybe, okay. They're kids, and they don't know what it's like having lived through the 60s and 70s and 80s, through the worst of economic conditions in the strongest country in the world, the United States, and its buddy, Canada, and the UK. We all went through it when, hey, our attitude was, why are we having such economic hard times in 1976? Why is it so tough around here in 1968? Why are there riots in the streets in Chicago in 1968 between students and cops? And why is the mayor telling the cops in Chicago to beat the shit out of college students on live national television? Why is all this going on? Why is all this hatred in that time? And today we go, well, why is all this hatred now? Because it's still going on. The reality here is these kids today who are hotshot traders are making billions of dollars. They don't deserve a dime of it, but it's the system, and it's set up. It's perfectly set up for these guys to score. And they want the party to keep going. They don't want to end this party. And they don't get it that inflation destroys portfolios. Inflation destroys businesses. Inflation destroys countries, economies. And inflation and outsized interest rates and crashing currencies create civil wars, famine, and all kinds of other problems. And it makes the world a more dangerous place because they don't give a crap. They don't want to give a crap. They care about their personal bonuses. Can I get my numbers to where I need to make them so I can get my $10 million at the end of the year? Pay Uncle Sam 30-40% of that, net out $5-6 million, and I can blow $2 million a year on whatever I want to blow and put $3 or $4 million away for long-term, whatever, if they even do that, and party like there's no tomorrow, because I only go around once. And I came out of college broke, got this job with this outfit, moved my way onto the trading desk, and I'm scoring, and I'm making the kind of money my mom and dad never thought, saw, or will ever have seen in their lifetime. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world. But there are many and many, many, many of them. And the Learjets, the global jets, the private world, the limos and everything else are out there for these guys to continue to enjoy themselves. It's ridiculous. And they're from every country in the world. They're not Americans. I'm not picking on Americans. I'm talking about these desk trader type guys, these hedge fund guys and girls who are global. They're in London, they're in Paris, they're in Frankfurt, they're in Madrid, they're everywhere. They're in Tokyo, they're in Hong Kong, they're in Singapore, they're all over the US, Canada, South America, Africa. They're global, and they don't want the party to end. And they love the party we've had for 20 years. 20 years of virtual no interest rates, virtual no inflation. And these guys were making a fortune while the rest of you guys were having to tolerate 2 to 3% raises if you could get one from your boss, because the top 1% of the firms that you were working for, the private firms you were working for, they were having a good time, unless they were total morons and screwed their business up into the heavens. That's the world they want to go back to. And they don't like this world. They don't like this world about higher interest rates and inflation. This isn't any good. My condo's gone down in value in the last 3 months. I want my condo to go back up in value. The jet fuel for my jet, my yacht, my power boat, it's costing me $200 a tank more to fill this thing up for for a 3-hour jaunt where I can rip up the waves. Their world is getting a little tighter, and they don't like it, and they would really rather have the other side of it. So they're looking for the Fed to back off. Wouldn't it be nice if the Fed kind of thought, well, maybe we've overreacted, and we'll just kind of we'll ease up a little bit, and we won't raise rates quite so aggressively, and we'll ease up on the tightening of money too, because this tightening of money is screwing with my bond trading. My bonds used to always just go up in value all the time, and the yields would be nice and low, and it was easy to sell bonds to pension funds all the time. I just call up a pension fund to say, hey, Royal Caribbean is trying to raise $1 billion this week. You want 50 million of it? You do? Oh, I'll write you up for 50 million. A guy would make 10 phone calls, and he'd sell $200 million of the bonds, and he would sit back and go, oh, I just made myself $200,000 in gross commissions. I get paid a 40% payout, but I get a 20% bonus at the end of the year. I'm gonna get 60% of 200,000. I just made 120 grand today. Yeah, I made $120,000. Do they give a crap about what the price of a loaf of bread is in your neighborhood? No, because they're thinking, I just made 120 grand. I'm gonna give government 30% of that. I'm gonna keep 90,000 for myself today. This weekend, my hot date and I should go somewhere. I'm going to impress her. Where should I take her? Well, let's go to Fiji. Let's grab the Global 5000 jet over here in New Jersey, across the river from New York. That thing can fly 8,000 miles nonstop. Let's fly to Fiji for 4 days and then come back. It's a long weekend, so let's go to Fiji and let's have one of those huts on the ocean and get some champagne and caviar and just, really have a good time. And then come back to work next week, and I'll make another 120 grand next week. No problem. It's all good. It's all fine. Yeah, when it's fine, it's fine. But when it stops, it stops. And right now, Royal Caribbean wants to raise $1 billion. That's a junk bond. Royal Caribbean has to, the bond boys get on the phone and call their pension funds, and they say, hey, you want to buy some Royal Caribbean debt? And they go, no, we can't buy it. Why not? It's junk bond. We're not allowed to buy junk bonds. Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to you. So they call hedge fund number somebody else, and they go, hey, you want some debt from Royal Caribbean? Well, what's it paying? 12%. Nah, I'll take the deal if it's 15%. 15% interest. Yeah, that's the best I can do. And I can only give you 25 million. I don't have 50 million. I've only got 10 million. We have to spread our bets over a larger pool, and more companies are coming to us for money right now than a year ago. A year ago, there weren't as many coming. Now there are more coming because they're having tougher times. And so we don't have as much cash to throw in each deal. Our hedge fund bosses here are telling us to lower the risk on all investments. And on top of that, I have to find insurance to cover my ass on this bet that I'm making for $10 million as well. I got to insure the $10 million bond. So I'll take 15% yield and I'll buy it, but I'm going to give up 3% of that yield as insurance to hold it. And this seller all of a sudden is going, yeah, I used to make 120 grand in like, one day, no problem. I can't even make 15 grand today. Like I'm really hurting. I'm down to $10,000 a day take home pay. This is getting ridiculous. I'm going to have to work for like a month or two before I can go to Fiji again. And I might have to take a commercial flight now instead of a private jet. This is not working out for me. We got to get the Fed to ease off here. I mean, we got to come back. This guy still isn't in reality. Nowhere near reality. Doesn't understand what reality actually is. Reality is when you pick up the phone and you got a company trying to raise $1 billion and you got another company trying to raise $500 million. You got 50 companies who are coming down on you going, we need to raise money. And you're trying to raise $5 billion for 50 different companies at the same time. And nobody wants any of it. That's reality, because you are the fourth guy to call with that offer. And the guy on the other end is going, everyone's calling me for money. We have $100 million to invest for our pensioners and for our investors. And I got the phone ringing off the hook. Everyone's got a bond for me to buy. You know what? I don't want to buy any of your bonds. Why not? Because they're dropping in value. Bonds are supposed to hold their value. Bonds are the gold standard of investing. Bonds. But when bond values drop, that means yields rise. The amount of money you make on a bond goes higher, the interest rate. Bond funds don't like holding bonds that go down in value, and they hate having to buy insurance to hold their portfolio as well. They don't like spending money to make money. They like to make money the easy way. Buy, collect, move on. Because these guys who are the bond buyers, they get paid just like the bond seller gets paid. A percentage on the performance of the firm. And these entities aren't performing. And last week, it is just coming out that the United Kingdom came this close to a crash of its entire financial system. All we saw and all we heard was that the pound was going down. The British pound was dropping against the US dollar, and it had been at 120, and it got to 112, and then it broke 110, and then it got down to 105, and then we heard it was as low as 103, all in like a couple of days. And we're all looking around going, oh, geez, that's kind of crazy speculation, isn't it? No, it wasn't. It was pension funds being called by their derivative insurance backers saying, you know, that derivative you bought to protect your portfolio, you have a 200 billion pound portfolio or 80 billion pound, whatever the number is. You put up a bunch of dough in a derivative to protect yourself against inflation and low interest rates. Well, we have higher interest rates, which means the cost of this derivative has gone up. The insurance cost for you has risen. Because in the contract between you and us, you need to put up more money to hold your derivative protection. And we can put in a cash call. Now, in the old days, which was like 3 weeks ago, we would just give you a call and say, look, it's Monday. By next Monday afternoon, we need another £1 million of insurance, of money, cash, to maintain the derivative balance you have. And that'll protect your entire portfolio. And the pension fund brings in money every day. Every worker who works at the school board in North England or whatever, their paychecks get a deduction every week, pension deduction. So money is always coming into the pension fund. Interest is coming into the pension fund from all the bonds they hold now. They're getting interest all the time. So one day, one Tuesday, we're getting an interest payment from the electric company in Scotland. Wednesday, we're getting a interest dividend money, interest money from a City of London. Thursday, we're getting money from Birmingham. Money's coming in all the time. $1 million next week, no problem. We'll have it for you. That was the old days. The new normal is last Wednesday, Tuesday, they were getting calls going, we need $40 million in an hour. Not a week, not $1 million, 40 million 1 hour, or we're selling off your derivatives. And if we sell off your derivatives, you are really in trouble. They will lose 30% of their value of their pension. Gone. So these guys are now having to raise cash quickly. The only way to raise cash quickly is you sell something you have, which are bonds. And what bonds do you sell to get cash instantly? United Kingdom government bonds, like the US bonds. If you're a US pension fund, you sell Federal Reserve, United States, people of America bonds. They're liquid instantly. When every single pension fund in the United Kingdom gets a phone call like that, and they have to come up with $1 million in an hour, 2 million, 6 million, 8 million, 50 million, 100 million, 500 million in an hour, what do you think is going to happen with the bond market? Everyone's a seller. Everyone's a seller at the same time. And as you sell bonds, the value of bonds goes lower, more sellers and buyers, yields rise, the cash calls come in again. So you just raised $40 million in 60 minutes, wired it over there, kept the derivative guy happy. An hour later, he calls again and says, I need another $40 million in an hour. Why? Because the bonds everybody has gone down in value. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of misery. It's a crash. And when you offload bonds, and everyone offloads the same currency bonds at the same time, the currency that is represented goes down in value in the world. And that's why the pound went down to 103 on a flash crash. It was headed to 90 without any intervention from the Bank of England, which would have put the entire country of the United Kingdom into default on all kinds of other deals. There are import-export arrangements made between countries, between major industries. And some of the caveats in the arrangements are we'll extend you credit to buy our wheat or to buy our cars or coal deals, natural gas deal, whatever it is, trillions of dollars of product. Caveats that the currency that we're talking about has to be at certain levels or better. And then, of course, there are derivatives that you buy to protect yourself against currency fluctuations that require cash to pay the insurance premium on. Where does the cash come from? You sell assets. What asset can you sell real fast? Oh, I can sell a bond. Here we go. So down it happened. So the Bank of England walked in there and said, we are putting in an unlimited buy order to buy any bond anybody wants to sell. That's a 30-year bond, a 50-year bond, these gilts, these long-term bonds. We'll buy up all you want, knowing the sellers are the pension funds, the backbone of the seniors and all workers in the United Kingdom. It's not important. It's just everybody's stake in life on the line. It's the entire country's wealth on the line. The Bank of England put the order in. We'll pick it up and we'll do the buying until October the 14th. That's 10 more days. So as of right now, the Bank of England is backstopping the British pound as we speak. Why should you give a crap if you don't live in the United Kingdom? I'll tell you why. There's a whole lot of bonds of the UK that are held by outside entities from the United Kingdom. These are global investors that buy UK bonds. There are speculators, and then there are long-term investors. And the long-term investors out there are going, wait a minute, hold it a second. If the UK pension fund world could collapse because of a cash call coming from derivative traders, what's the situation in America? What's the situation in Canada? What's the situation in Germany, France, Italy, Spain? What's the situation in Japan? What's the situation in South Korea? Wait a minute. Do all pension funds in the world use derivatives to protect the value of their bond investments? And because interest rates have risen so dramatically from a dead in the water level a year ago, 20 years back, we had nothing. And all of a sudden we're going to here. Are there trillions of dollars of cash calls coming for pension funds all over the world? Could it be that right now, as we're talking here, as I'm yapping away, ranting away, could it be that an outfit like the California Teachers Pension Fund is quietly attempting to sell bonds in the open markets all over the world? And the Ontario Teachers Plan in Canada is trying to sell. The Brazilian national government's pension plan is trying to sell. The Japanese pension plan. Could it be that pension funds all over the planet are quietly offloading bonds to raise cash in anticipation of the possibility there could be cash calls coming to them because the Brits won't be able to meet the cash calls on the 15th of October, the 20th of October, the 30th of October, the 15th of March 2023, whenever it comes. Because if it comes again, another wave of this stuff, who's going to buy this now? If the Bank of England has bought up hundreds of billions of dollars of their bonds and they're trying to sell them off again, and they're trying to sell more bonds to pay for this tax deal that the government just announced, and they're trying to subsidize their entire population for their natural gas bills and electric bills that are going through the roof, who's going to buy all this stuff? Where's the liquidity coming to buy the bonds? We have sellers. Someone has to buy. Everybody sell. What if we have a stampede for the exits all at the same time globally, because the folks in the US pension funds don't give a crap how bad it is in London. They give a crap about how it is here. Same in Canada, same in every other country in the world. This is the underlying issue. Today, the stock market is up 378 points on the pre-market. Oblivious, not paying attention to any of it. They're hoping that the Federal Reserve might ease up a little bit, and it's all going to be good again. It's going to be great. They're going to ease off on interest rates, and it's going to be fine. And these thousands and thousands of bond traders and hedge fund managers and everything else are just going to bring in all kinds of money on fees from their clients. And many of you out there, before you became option writers, what were you doing? You put your money into your banker. You put your money into your investment advisors. You've had mutual funds, you've had ETFs, and a percentage of the value of your money with these people are paid to these people in the form of fees. They go to the organization that they work for, and then those fees go into the big pool. That's how they have their skyscrapers, and that's how they have their really nice properties where they do their business. And you'll note that the top 15-20% of the employees of these firms, which you never meet. You'll never meet the top people of these firms. But if you happen to go to the Hamptons sometime, or go to the film festival in Cannes, maybe you'll bump into some of these guys and girls who are having a weekend and enjoying themselves with whatever. You'll see the lifestyle that they're leading, and it's fantastic. We always hear about stuff in the paper all the time, and I say, you see how old I am? I talk about, we hear stuff in the paper all the time, because that's where we used to get all of our news, the newspaper all the time. Now we get it, of course, on every device there is. And we always hear stories about how, oh yeah, the CEO of Disney got paid $180 million this year for being the CEO of Disney. And then you don't get any details. The details are that he gets $1 million a year salary, and the rest of the money that he's made is on a stock option. And based on the closing price of the stock, and based on the price that he was issued the stock at, the difference between the two multiplied by, it's a $179 million profit if this individual were to sell the stock at that moment in time. Of course, they can't, because there are restrictions on how many shares are allowed to sell and all this sort of stuff. But the paper doesn't mention that. Also, if they sold any of the stock, they would have a gain, and that would be considered income under IRS rules. I know some IRS rules, not all of them. They aren't going to do that, but the paper won't mention it. You just see the headline, the clickbait headline. $180 million paid to this guy. And then you see that for the head of General Electric and the head of GM and the head of every public company out there. We see these incredible numbers. What you don't know, and what you don't see, and what you're not going to get, because there are too many of them, is there are hundreds of thousands of people based in financial centers around the planet who make 10 to 50 million bucks a year every year on the percentage of money that they manage. And it is a juicy game. It is a beautiful, juicy game. And as long as there are trillions of dollars being managed for others by those people, this game doesn't end, because you get a 2% fee to manage the money and then 20% of the profits that you generate. And it's an awful year when you don't have profits. It's awful, because guess what happens to you? You get fired. and you get kicked out and you try to go somewhere else. But when you do have a good year, you make the fund makes $100 million this year. 20 million is in bonuses to the top group running that money. You don't need 500,000 people to manage $1 billion or $5 billion or $10 billion. You need 20, 30, 50, 100. It's a small group of people who are now splitting up 20 million a year or 150 million a year or 300 million a year in bonus money. It's a wonderful game. But these folks, and it's not their fault, they're younger than I am. They're about your age. They're in their 30s and their 40s. Some of the senior folks are in their 50s, and they've studied, but they're not paying attention. And the young group, the younger guys who are being quoted by some of these highfalutin reporters out there, have an 8-second attention span going into their job. They have no experience beyond 2005. They didn't know what it was like in 2001 when 9/11 happened. They weren't adults then. They had no idea what the financial crash was like a few years after that. They were too young to know that. They have no idea what the crash was like in 1987 when the Dow dropped 22% in one day. They have no idea what it's like with 15% prime interest rates, 18% mortgages, unions asking and getting 20% pay raises in America and Canada as a matter of course. They have no idea because their parents are long gone. Their parents lived through that. Their grandparents lived through that, but they're all not there anymore. Or if they're there, only one of them alive. And time is the enemy of experience. Time is the enemy of experience if you don't pay attention to what happened back then. And this is why right now we're getting these ridiculous comments from uneducated people. Smart people in the world they're in, for sure. They know how to turn on their cell phone. I don't. Yeah, they know this stuff, but they haven't got a clue what the real world is like when you have out of control inflation, high interest rates, deficit spending, governments competing with business for money, junk bonds showing up all over the place that used to be AA rated, A-rated stuff. Good stuff is now junk. They've never gone through this before, and they want their 100,000 a week, 200,000 a week in revenues so they can continue that exotic lifestyle that they like to lead. The good times might be over for some of these folks, sorry to say. What can I say? For you who are option writers, you couldn't ask for a better world in which to live. I'm telling you right now, this is wonderful. Do not fear the upside because there isn't any. You think that there's a big upside going on because the Dow is ahead 300 odd points in the pre-market. Think again, this is a nothing burger we have going on here. 1.3% gain on the Dow is a nothing burger. And I suspect that anyone who started buying in the market yesterday morning didn't take profits out yesterday or took some profits out yesterday, going to take the rest out today. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're in big trouble. You don't want to be a bag holder and be holding all these stocks that you acquired in the last day or so when the market starts to dip again, because that's the next step in this process. There's going to be another dip in the market. And there you have it. Yeah, the only good news Brian is saying here, there you go. I heard about this morning. Australia rose their bank rate 1/4 point instead of 1/2 point. The thinking was it was going to be 1/2 point. They only raised it 1/4 point. There are people in the United States who think this is a sign. They actually think that a country of 20 million people, 22 million people, has the power to change the Federal Reserve's thinking for the 400 million Americans out there and the world's largest economy, that the Fed's now going to ease up on interest rates. Think again. It is not happening. Australia does what Australia has to do for itself. And the good news for Australia, funny enough, is that with the interest rates the way they are and with the economy the way it is, the Australian currency is downright cheap. And because it's downright cheap right now, you can buy an Australian dollar for 64 cents against the American dollar. So the US dollar, the Australian dollar is worth 64 cents US. That means Australian exports are super cheap. And Australia is an exporting nation. And yes, it does import goods, no question about it, but it would love to import tourists with dollars and offer tourists with dollars the opportunity to maybe spend less money. The problem, of course, is you go to Sydney, Australia, and look for a deal on a hotel room, and you'll find that the cost of a hotel room in Australian money is like way higher. That's because dollars are dollars when converted. It's all relative. And so if you want to stay at the Ritz-Carlton in Sydney, Australia, you're going to pay top dollar. If you want to stay at the Holiday Inn or an equivalent hotel like a Holiday Inn, you're not going to get one for $89.99. No, you might be $289.99 Australian. But of course, the American will go, well, that's only about, 100 something American dollars. Yeah, and that's still more than you would pay in other cities in the US. It's an expensive place to go to. It's a beautiful place to go to. It's a bucket list on my list, on my personal list. But Australia has decided for its benefit to keep its currency lower rather than let it go higher. And that'll help us keep stuff moving out of here. We're exporters. We got to move our product off this island, and that's the way we're going to go. I get it. It makes sense. You do what you have to do for your country. Australia doesn't deal with America exclusively. It's not like America's its only customer. Australia deals with South America. It deals with Asia, China, India. They have their, South Africa, the continent of Africa. They're over there. Like, if you look at a globe, we're up here, Canada, North America. Australia's down here. That's why it's called down under. I think it's down here, almost opposite diagonally from they're down under, and they're in their world, and they're doing what they have to do. Remember, Japan hasn't raised their rates. They've let the yen go against the American dollar to get crushed. China has been cutting rates, and so Australia is in that world. That's their region, and you do what you have to do regionally to make it work for you. There you go. Anyway, fun times at the OK Corral. Look, those of you who've written calls on Tesla, I was telling you yesterday and the day before and day before and day before, as Tesla's been coming down in price, for whatever reason it's coming down in price, there were a bunch of you who wrote 310s and 320 calls. Then I told you to buy those back and write 300s. Then I told you to buy those back and write 290s and 280s. Then I told you to buy those back and write 270s. Then I told you to buy those back and write 260s. Then I told you to buy those back and start writing 250s, because the stock went down to 241 yesterday. This morning it's at 249.55. It's back to almost $250. If the stock can go to 255, what I would say to any of you who have not yet written your 250s, you might want to write 260s for this Friday, next Friday, or the Friday after that, for as much premium as humanly possible. Bring cash into your account. The reason I keep telling you to, buy back, write a new one, buy back, write a new one, is you need to bring cash in as the stock falls, because the value of your account is dropping. So you have to be compensated for the drop in the value of the stock, because the options are dropping, and this is where you get your insurance money, your dough, for compensation. Now, when a stock drops $50 a share in like 5 sessions, it's very difficult, if not downright impossible, to have more option money coming in than the stock dropping. But you can get a good chunk of it, and that's what's been happening here, and I'm very proud of you for doing so. Now that the stock is in this 240 to 250, maybe it's going to be 240, 260 for a while, or 245, 265. It's going to find a range. They always do find a range. You now have to start bringing in money from time depreciation. You might not bring in money from stock price depreciation. It might now just be time depreciation paying you, but it will pay you. And it's now time to keep bringing money in and keep bringing money in from this stock. Now, anyone who's written 250 contracts, the stock's at 250, you don't have to do anything. Absolutely nothing, because your contracts don't die until Friday or next Friday or the Friday after. What you will ultimately do, one way or the other, if the stock stays here, you will buy back your calls for less than you paid for them and write new calls. If the stock goes down a little bit, you'll buy your calls back for less money and write new calls that might have a different strike price or at the same strike price that you've written now. Stock goes up, guess what you do? You will eventually buy back your calls at a higher price than they're trading at, or exactly what you sold them for, and write new calls for several weeks forward at the same strike price or a higher strike price. That's the plan. And we let the stock tell us what it wants to do. Simple. All right. So that's the plan on Tesla today. Look to write 260s if you can for a nice buck. Over on GameStop, I'm noticing it's sitting at, let's see if I can get this to work, 2508 right now. No, 2603 right now. Pardon me. My one device is not updating. Here it is. 2603. We're up 65 cents a share on GameStop. Is this an incredibly phenomenal move higher? No. Is it trading buckets of stock? No. 34,000 traded. Pre-split, we haven't even done 10,000 shares today. We haven't done 9,000 shares today. This is just dead in the water. It is up though. Hey, I'm telling you, which means the options are moving up today to a degree, because of course, contracts that died this Friday are losing value in time while they're gaining value because the stock is moving up a little bit. If these are out of the money contracts, they're not as far out of the money. If they're in the money, they're more in the money, which means the time premium is shrinking out, being replaced by potential book value. If you happened to write an in the money call, that's now in the money. Again, if the stock wants to give us a $1 move today, a 125 move today, fabulous. All of you are richer. We're all happy the stock is going up. It's better to have the stock going up and do rollovers than just down, down, down. But it might be running out of gas here with this market. And if we find that the Dow starts to peter out and starts to give up this two-day gain, GameStop might give up $1.50 over the next 2 or 3 days. It might only be 40, 50 cents a day for the next 2 or 3 days. A little easier to deal with, I suppose, because it's not as volatile. The key here is you always want to be on top of the option market. And if you have an opportunity to buy back a call and write a new call that brings you more money, it's at the same strike price or a better strike price to you, a higher strike price, and it doesn't cost you any dough to do it, but just maybe a week in time, that might be the move you make. I love the move where people say to me, I bought back my blah, blah, blahs for this price. I sold them for a little higher, and I bought them just a little lower because the stock's gone up. And I've now written new calls with a higher strike price, and I got more money. And so I have more money in my account, or a lower debit balance in my account if you have an option, a margin account. And I raised my strike price on my contracts. So that cost me 1 week of my time or 2 weeks of my time. A lovely trade-off to make. Beautiful. Because if the stock backs back off to 25 or 24.50, you might have written $27 calls. Well, they're now two and a half out of the money. They're going to quickly shrink. And that gives you an opportunity in just a day or 2 or 3 to buy them back at 1/3 the price or 40 cents on the dollar and now rewrite another batch. A beautiful thing. Ed Hawkins, I wrote, Bruce, $26 GameStop covered calls for October 21 for 211. Should I just hold? I bought GameStop for under 26, even if exercised. I'm up $2. Well, with the stock at 26.05 pre-market, you don't have to do anything at the moment. You brought in a beautiful premium, $211 a contract. I love this. Today, you don't really have to do anything. If the shares were going into this $27.50, $28 range, I'd now start looking at that because obviously you got 211. That's 28.11 as you figured out. You'd be exercised at 28.11 total if you did get taken out. You don't have to worry about a rollover right now for at least another $1 of upside. And what are the odds? Could the shares today be 26.25, 26.50, and then be 25.50 this afternoon or tomorrow morning? Very possible. That wouldn't be unreasonable for GameStop. And at 25.50, with a couple more days going by, in time, you have an October 21 contract. Doesn't expire this Friday, doesn't expire next Friday. It's the one after that. So 2 or 3 days from now, we have some time depreciation. We may have a contract out of the money again, and you're going to be looking at a 150, 160 contract. Comfortable position to be in, having written at 210, 211, they're sitting at 150, 160, and they only have 2+ weeks left to go. Good point. Good position to be in. Ed, you're doing just fine sitting right where you are. It's when the shares, a week from now, let's say, the share is going to sit at $27 a week from now. And now you have barely 2 weeks to go, or a week and a half from now, you have less than 2 weeks to go, maybe 10 days to go. That's when you might look at a position, an opportunity to make a move. But I can tell you that even if your contracts are $1 in the money, with a week and a half to go, they're not going to even be trading at 210. They might be at 190 because they have $1 book value plus 90 cents time value. And that time value keeps shrinking out because, they will expire only for book value. So if the stock trades at 27, your calls can only be worth $1 when it's all said and done. That's the end. That's the end of the book. Well, the ending of the book that, around $27, they're only worth $1. I sold them for $2.11. Even if you buy them back for $1.21, you make a 90-cent profit on the contract, but your stock went up from when you wrote to where it is now. You're richer on paper and you're richer in cash. And guess what? You buy your calls back for 121, 126, and you write new calls. Now you're writing 28s, 29s for 3 weeks further out. Rinse and repeat. Bring in another 211 if you can, raising the bar. Play it day by day, but today, no worries. Sit tight. Brian, Uncle Bruce, I disagree. It's not 8 seconds. It must be 5 or 6 seconds attention span. What did you say? I forgot. I've already missed that. Thank you all for being here this morning. Guys, thumbs ups. We have 127 thumbs ups have come in here so far. I appreciate this. We're 7 minutes away from opening. Please, please, please hit the thumbs up button for us if you don't mind. Help us to get to 200 thumbs ups as quickly as humanly possible. You guys are fabulous for that. Also, Swiss Butter. Welcome to the channel, Swiss Butter. Welcome to the Chillin' with Uncle Bruce member. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining in with the rest of the gang. As we like to say, welcome to the party, pal. This is a familiar looking name. There's 2 of you there. Welcome to the 2 of you. I'm glad you're here. Let's make some money. I love it. Fantastic. What else is going on here? Let's see. We got a moron here today. Oh, yay, moron. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of that guy. Sorry, folks, if there's any nasty messages here. Sorry about that. If they come in, it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to switch right now to members only. Thank you, all of you who are here as subscribers, as lurkers. If you become a member of this channel, I would be forever grateful for that. I love having new members join us. Welcome to the group, the family here. A lot of folks in this family are here they help other members. It's just natural. People will ask me a question. It'll take me a while to get to it, and then you've already got your answer from 5 or 6 other members around here. Love that. Again, that's just how this family works. Thank you all for joining this channel and being part of this really cool community. We like making money here, writing stock options in a bear market right now. We're probably one of the few YouTube channels that are enjoying success in the markets. I will boldly predict, although I will admit there are times, and I say kudos. If there's anyone out there that recommends, or comes up with a pretty cool stock to recommend and people make a bunch of money on it, I'm happy for any and all of you who score these deals, but they are few and far between. Where if you're an option writer, you know what you are? You are a slow motion moneymaker. You're not fast on your feet as far as running from deal to deal and deal to. You don't have to be. You don't have to be all over the internet with all these hot rumors and stuff, trying to get rid of the chaff and find out who's real and who's not. You want to be here. You can relax. This is a conservative strategy that we're talking about here, writing call options on stock you have or calls you've got, deep in the money call options, writing poor man covered calls. This is a conservative strategy. We're not massive risk takers here, and I can live with this. It's easy for me to be a commentator and a YouTube creator. And for many of you, you've figured it out that after you've gotten used to writing options, You comment to me all the time and say, I can't believe how relaxed I am when the market is down 800 points in one day. It just doesn't bother me anymore. It used to crush me when the markets were down. I hate it when markets are down because everybody else out there talks about the mother of all short squeezes, great runs coming. You do the opposite. You're just going, he wants to go up, let it go up. Wants to go down, let it go down. Wants to stay flat, let it stay flat. It doesn't matter when you're an option writer. You can make money any direction this market wants to go. You really can. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Melodisium is number 128. I can't even read that. Thank you. Hi, Bama Babe, says Swiss Butter. Welcome, everybody. Been here, done this, says Swiss Butter. Welcome, Swiss Butter. This is great. I'm starting to get it, says Karen P. I wrote an Adobe, and I think it's Adobe, isn't it? ADBE. I wrote one for 1035 yesterday morning. Then the stock went up $10. So I rolled in the afternoon, same strike, 1 week further out, 1545 premium. I'm starting to get this. Very interesting. Trolls are back, says Mirko. That means we're growing. We're growing. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you all who are here. It's nice to see you, and thank you for joining in on this channel. Let's see what's going on. Constantine, I think this is for me, Uncle Bruce, not Ivory, but Uncle Bruce. Is it smarter and more profitable to sell my 1,200 GameStop shares and with that money buy 26 calls in order to write poor man covered calls? Only if you can get the calls cheap enough and with the 90-10% rule. You got to have that 90-10 rule. If you don't, you are potentially wasting time premium money for no reason. So you've got to be very careful as a purchaser of deep in the money calls. Make sure they are way out there in time. You can't have the pressure of worrying that, oh, my calls are expiring in 4 months and I can only write for a few more months and they're getting close to the value of the stock. I might not be able to write anymore. No. Then hold your 1,200 shares and write 12 calls. But do your homework and make sure that you're not overpaying. Okay. All righty. Karen D, thumbs up 146. Coyote saying to Constantine, not a bad idea at all. It's the way I'm going. I'm moving forward on this. Nick is here at 151. Thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Option Nomads, Mirko, my wife appreciates your Ghostbusters reference. Deuce Caboose, our Swiss Butter and Cheddar Stacks brothers. I'm number 152. Credits happen. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Gamblers, I hope all these gamblers step right up today. This cute little bull trap is looking lovely. David Scott, hi, Uncle B. I wrote a GameStop October 14, $25 call for 201. Should look at rollover if my strike price premium places me in the money, i.e. stock price 27 in this case. Well, the stock is 25.96 right now. We're just about opening here. We're almost ready to start trading for the day. So you're in the money, 96 cents. You sold this call for $2. It dies next week, Friday. A wonderful situation to be in. So, you'll only do the rollover if it's advantageous to you. If you can buy this call back for almost book value plus just a little bit of premium and then write another one, whether it's a 25 for next Friday or the Friday after that, just a 25 for more money, that's one solution. The second one is maybe a 25.50 or a 26 for more money as well, depending how far out you're going to go. Another idea. You gotta keep an eye on it, which I know you are. We are opening. I'm pretty sure. Alberto, members only. Alrighty, then let us begin. Says Alberto. I can't. Constant. It has worked for me. I still have shares as well, but I write on. But I now write more with poor man covered calls. Better leverage, more income coming in the front door. If you could write more contracts, absolutely. Making money going down. Doesn't sound right. Cindy, good morning all. I'm number 155. And Naz was saying, I don't see you losing as many subs these days. So you must be growing here. Mirko, options, Nomads. I had to do it. Most items, Uncle Bruce does it himself. Thanks, options, Nomads. Karim, 158, baby. I'm coming up. No, Constantine said, thank you, everybody. Uncle Bruce. T. Hutch, could I get an opinion on selling $9 1 to 20 covered calls? Fees for the transaction is $199. So I don't want to be in a position that I need to do a lot of rolls. Cost basis is 12 for my IRA SoFi shares. Well, there you go. Those of you who are running into fees, this is an issue that this is a brokerage issue, and I can't help you there because again, I'm in Canada. I don't trade. You guys do. You're all over the world, and some of you are running into this issue of fees to trade your accounts, and there are fees. Maybe no fees to trade stock, but a lot of fees to trade contracts. And so you're going to have to factor this into your calculations without any question whatsoever, which might take away some of your transactions for very small priced contracts. You may have to look at higher priced contracts to do your thing. And that's my answer to this. That's all I can tell you. Not Larry Titus has rung the bells. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I think that's DQ doing that. Thanks, pal. Alberto, not Larry Titus. Thank you. TIF. I missed yesterday because I was lying in bed with a virus all day long. What did I miss? Where did the green come from? You didn't miss anything, Tim. It was a quiet day. We had nothing going on. It was boring. It was a lousy, what was it, 900-point gain at one point, ended up with a 700-point gain. Oh, boring. Nothing happened. A couple of rollovers. Kim Kardashian got fined. It's the same old, But welcome back. Nice to have you here. And welcome to the party, pal. Today, we're up 443 points on the Dow. It looks like the start of the morning. I've got Tesla at 251.89, up 949. This is the perfect scenario to perhaps look at writing 260s for a real nice premium for the next week or two out. This might be the opportunity here to take advantage of that. 252.09 on Tesla. This is a lovely little gain. Maybe it'll gain a little more, and the 260s will climb even higher. That's great because you're a writer. No problem. Apple 140.49 up 244. GameStop up 96 cents to 26.34. We've got SoFi up 22 cents to 5.35. Rocket Lab up 16. HBQ up 58 to 26.47. The AMC Ape stock combination is up 29 cents on a little run here. ME is up 18. Matterport is up 19 cents to 4.10. ATIP is up 3, SmartRent up 2, Spire up 4, Sextera up 4. You notice these slight gains are a nothing burger. And this Dow run so far, it's 400 points higher. Great. How long is it going to last before people start taking off money? Smart money, I think, is selling to take money off the table. That's my hunch here. The S&P is up 57, NASDAQ up 218. 1.2% gain on the Dow. Let me refresh everything, just make sure I'm current. Looks like we've got a 1.5% gain on the Dow, 1.8 on S&P up 68, 2.3% gain on NASDAQ 255. That is our start to this deal. We've got a 222 gain on oil this morning at 85.85, and I have some news on that coming up. Does not look as good as it sounds. Let's see. Welcome all. Susan Shop's about. I am thumbs up 169. We're coming up to 200, Bruce, for you. The 200 thumbs up barrier is only 28 away. We have 172 thumbs ups. We only need 28 more to reach 200. Thank you all for hitting that thumbs up button for us, getting us closer to the mark. Fabulous. Welcome one, welcome all. All of you who are new members, welcome to the channel. Those of you who are renewing your memberships every month, thank you again. And those of you who are hitting the thumbs up button and hitting the subscribe button, thank you for growing this channel. I appreciate it. It's coming along. We're up 498 on the Dow. Again, first 15-minute run. We'll see what it's made of. Tesla 251.35. Apple up 232. GameStop is up 80 cents to $26.18. The volume on GameStop this morning is 200,000 shares. That is 50,000 pre-split. 50,000 pre-split. This is dead quiet at the moment. It's up a little. Yes, it is. The question is, can it hold it? We got up to 26.44 and we're now at 26.30. So a little bit of a pullback is already evident on GameStop. SoFi up 20 to 534. Rocket Lab 449. HBQ 2639 up 50. Other stocks to follow. We're looking at Pfizer up 34 cents. Boeing up 496. Cisco up 51 cents to 41.42. Home Depot at 407. We've got Vanik up 572, IBM up 167, Microsoft up 528, Goldman up 742 to 306.50. Google up 250 to 101.80, Amazon up 498, Meta Platforms up 233. We got Royal Caribbean up $1.49 to 39.08. Costco up 760, Walmart up $1.50, Nvidia up 4.5, Disney up $1.60, Moderna up 274 to 123, American Airlines up 81 cents to 12.73. So it's a positive start, no question. You got a 490 point gain, you got green. The question is how long, and are we going to peter out here because we have underlying issues. Lame Duck, I am 171 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you, Alberto. This is when we test our arm crossing. Tesla popping and scaring me. Not really. Patience is the key. 251. I don't know if Tesla has much more in it. It might resume a decline. And this is why I'm saying anyone who hasn't written might want to write 260s right now and lock in this little gain. And this thing backs off 15, 20 bucks from here to 240, 235. Hey, we're going lower. That means, buying back calls and writing new ones at lower prices. We'll see what it does. Flint Creek, I'm number 146 on the thumbs up meter. Late night fox hunting, I won. Okay. Brian, Uncle Bruce, yesterday GameStop had its lowest volume ever. That is crazy. Isn't it true that a downward trend and that you have low volume and a green day is bullish means no one is selling? Yeah, I mean, every argument has its points. Everything is valid, but what is the overall situation that we're in right now? We're in for one of the lousiest Christmas seasons of all time. Retail, shopping mall, Christmas season, gonna be brutal. Really, really brutal. A lot of folks are holding onto their dough and going, I don't know if I want to be as generous this year as I was maybe in past years. Yes, there are people who are going to go traveling this year and they'll pay whatever it costs to do it. But then there are those who are going, I'm not taking a holiday this year. I'm staying close to home. There are middle class and upper middle class Americans, Canadians, Europeans who are going, my mortgage costs are going up this year because of my renewal. My electric bill has gone ridiculous. My natural gas bill, crazy. Now the town I live in, the city I live in, the suburb I live in, higher property taxes coming our way. People are cutting back, and GameStop is a retailer. Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, they have an online presence, but it isn't the dominant presence. The dominant presence of GameStop is they're a retailer. And what is going to happen to the costs of each retail location for GameStop? You know that the staff has to get raises because you're going to lose people. People can quit GameStop and go to Best Buy and get more money. They'll go there. If they can go to Costco, they'll go there. So GameStop has to be competitive on a salary basis. Rents for GameStop locations might be going up this year because landlords need more rent money. Their costs have gone stupid. Utility costs at GameStop stores, every single one of them, their costs are going up. The profit margins are being squeezed everywhere. Now, in the case of GameStop, there are no gross profits. There are operational profits, and then you have all the other expenses at head office and so on. Is it possible that GameStop will have an increase in revenues attributable to what, the e-commerce division, but a decrease in operational profits and a larger loss? It's possible. I don't see them buying somebody that's profitable and vending, merging that money into that cash flow into their earnings. It's not happening. They're sitting on money, but they're not using it for anything else. They're using it to survive. I don't know. Are you going to pay $30 a share for a company that's going to lose $1 billion a year, $800 million a year, $500 million a year? Like, what's the number? If only they would speak, we'd have a better idea, but they're not talking, are they? Flint Creek, thanks again for the fat order, Nate. Coyote, could also be that it just moved with the big market rally. Flint, Fox was in the hen house. Constantine, 175 thumbs up from Constantine. Poor man covered call, 1 year out to be the safest, 90-10, just like you said in the class. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. Coyote, don't forget the NFT marketplace. That's dozens of dollars of revenue you're not mentioning. There you go, Obama babe. I got all my stink bits in. I think I will go practice my arm crossing now. See if I can figure out how to do all this. And there's all these methods. Some are more complicated than others. Dozens, Michael, so dozens of dollars. You forgot the dozens of dollars. Exactly. This is what I'm doing with GameStop. I'm going, I don't know what they're doing. They're not talking to us. And the stock is up $1.03 today. Right options, do rollovers, take the money off the table from the gamblers because they're the ones who are going to pay you to hold this stock, and they pay you well. And I say congratulations, all of you who are scoring money from GameStop. You can do the same thing on Apple. You can do the same thing on HPQ, Cisco, Pfizer. Pick up your, you want to buy poor man covered calls to increase your leverage and income. I highly encourage you to look into that. Some of you out there are in a position to write 3 or 4 contracts on whatever it is you got now. Theoretically, if you move into deep in the money, poor man covered call strategy or the option strategies, you could write 3 or 4 times as many contracts. Will that make enough of a difference to your cash flow to really impact your bottom line? It could. I mean, in some cases here, I have people who said to me, I used to bring in $300-400 a month in option premium. I'm now bringing in $1,000 to $1,500 a month in option premium because I'm writing more contracts, and I'm utilizing that cash to buy more deep in the money calls to write more option contracts. I'm not stopping until they tell me to, and they never tell me to stop. So I'm going to bring in more cash. And those of you who want to get away from the day job or really get rid of a part-time job or get to the point where you can knock off a credit card that has just been gnawing at you for a long, long time. And maybe some of you have credit cards that have ridiculous balances, and you just want to target a credit card for $2,000 a month for the next number of months to just beat the crap out of that thing. Poor man covered call option writing might be your solution, your cash flow solution to take care of this. Obviously, if you could knock off every $1,000 you knock off a credit card every month, if 5% is your minimum payment, that's $50 a month in payments less required. If it's only 2%, it's $20 less a month. And if the interest rate is 2% a month, that's $20 a month. There's 40, 50, 60, 80 a month less off of your hide that you need to come up with after tax to pay for these things. You can knock off $2,000 a month on your credit card. 5 months from now, you've knocked off 10 G's. Your cost of living has dropped dramatically. This is a difference maker. And boy, it is a stress reliever if you can get there. So, hey, do what you got to do. Get in there and let's go. Pretzel Yoga, says JJ. Michael, I wrote GameStop 27s for next Friday. I'm not fearing this green at all. Brian, Michael, I also have GameStop 27s for October 14. We are in this together, brother, now. Ooh, here we go. We're at 26.52 on GameStop, up 114. Apple's up 243. Tesla's at 251.34, up 894. The Dow's up 570. We got the S&P up 81. We got NASDAQ up 271. We don't mind stocks going up in price. We don't mind at all. We get richer when this happens because your baseline value of your accounts is rising in value. Your marginability is rising in value. So if any of you have margin balances, those are a smaller percentage of the value of your account, which is a good thing. And if you're bringing in additional income from option premiums, you're knocking that balance down and or bringing capital in. Some of you might be frustrated. You might be sitting there going, I wrote these contracts for $1.25 and they're now $1.35 and I don't feel richer. But you are richer because the underlying security you have, either deep in the money calls or stock that you use to write these contracts, have gone up in value. You're on paper richer. Poor man covered call writers have a double win possibility. If a stock rises enough in value, yes, if you own shares, they're worth more money. But if you own poor man covered calls, they too are worth more money. And you're in a position to do rollovers on poor man covered calls. So You bought a poor man covered call for $8 or $9 or $10. It starts to trade a few weeks down the road. It's trading at $12, $13, $14. You may find that you're selling poor man covered calls for a lock-in profit, and you're turning right around and buying new deep in the money calls that might be a couple of dollars closer to the price of the stock because the stock has moved up nicely, and or you're changing your time frame. You might go from a January 24 to a June 24 contract for $2 a contract less because it's a couple dollars higher in strike, and you've sold enough of the old ones to now buy a couple of more additional new ones, which means you're writing even more covered calls. Can you go from 10 covered calls to 12? Can you go from 20 to 25? Can you go from 30 covered calls to 33, 36, 37 covered calls and now write that many? There's that too. It's always a beautiful thing to look at. If you own the stock outright and your stock goes up and up and up and up and up and up, you don't sell your stock to buy more stock at a cheaper price. You got to hold your stock and keep writing. There's nothing wrong with that strategy. That's a very conservative, good thing. But the question is, with a poor man covered call rollover, you can move into a higher number of calls and write more calls, which increases your revenues dramatically. Obviously, if a stock goes up and you roll contracts further and further forward, you're still bringing in income from the contracts. You'll eventually buy more stock, and you will then write more contracts as well. But the leverage is on the poor man's side. The Dow is up 600 right now. It's on a roll. It's up 600 points. We let it go. Let it run all it wants. It's wonderful. We're up to 251 on Tesla, up 884. GameStop is at 2659, up 129. We don't mind one bit. Jen, how are you today?
Oh, another beautiful sunrise. And we have hot air balloons up today.
We got hot air balloons up in
Haven't
Calgary.
seen that in a while.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of
We
late.
used to have tons of them.
Used to have way more. Yeah, it's nice to see late in the season the hot air balloons coming up.
Because we've got a bit of a breeze today.
We're going to be in the mid 70s.
Had nothing for a breeze. So
Yeah, just a slight
you
gentle.
don't want to just go up there and hang.
Well, you don't want to have, but you don't want to have 30-mile-an-hour winds.
No.
So you can't launch a balloon in that. So this nice, calm, early morning scenario,
Right?
perfect.
Lovely.
It's sweet. It's a wonderful ride. You can't complain about that. Fabulous.
The markets are green.
Yes, we're up 617 on the Dow, 85 on S&P, 288 on NASDAQ. My viewers are getting richer. Their portfolios are increasing in value. We keep writing options and bringing in money.
Did oil go down, or is this just because you can't go down forever?
We're up 215 on oil at the moment at 85.78. And I was going to mention to my viewers today, there's talk about a million barrel cutback in production by OPEC. Here's the dirty little secret. In August.
No, tell them what it's for.
Was it for?
Yeah. What was it for? Why did they do it? Why is OPEC saying they're doing it?
Well, they want to have higher prices.
Well, no, they're supporting. They're making it easier on North America by giving higher prices.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. That's what it is. As they build another 50, 100-story condos in Dubai.
Our oil and gas industry.
Right. Here's the reality. In August, OPEC produced 3.5 billion barrels less oil than they were supposed to. Why is that? Why is OPEC not producing the amount of quotas that they said? No, that's not the answer. No, incorrect. OPEC oil for 200, Alex. The reason that OPEC can't produce the oil they said they were going to produce, which, by the way, if they say we're going to cut back by 1 million, they're now only going to be 1.5 million barrels short of their target. The reason they can't even make their target is because countries like Venezuela and Nigeria and other poorly managed countries, they're so busy stealing money from their oil and gas industry, they don't invest in it. And their game plan is, hey, if it goes to $120 a barrel, we're bringing in more money than we normally are. The bribes can be paid and we can catch up on the IOUs, but we don't have extra money to invest in the infrastructure of our business. And so they're not investing in the infrastructure of their business. And so the Nigerians as a whole are very poor as a country, as an individual people, because their leaders are siphoning off all the profits from the industry for themselves, the army, the courts, the jail systems, the secret police, they don't invest in the industry. And so they can't produce the amount of oil they could be producing at these levels, because that extra money is not needed for bribes. That would go to the average population. That's lost money. Why would we distribute billions of dollars to our 90 million people, or whatever the number is? They're just losers. They're just let them starve. And if they're hungry, they don't get ideas about knocking off the military. You see, don't give them extra money so they can buy bullets. We don't want them buying bullets.
No.
We have the bullets. And so we keep them poor. We have the bullets. We have the tear gas. We have the courts. We have the jails. We have the generals and all the top brass. And everything is fine up here. Up here, it's great. Up here, it is wonderful. We're not going to spread this around. People start getting ideas. We can't have that. Can't have ideas.
Hungry people have only one idea. Find food.
That's right. Hungry people have one idea: find food. They don't have ideas of overthrows of governments. They haven't got the energy.
They dream about that at night.
They might dream about it, but they actually dream about a Big Mac. That's what they're really dreaming about. Interesting, isn't it? So OPEC can't cut 1 million barrels a day from their official production number. They aren't meeting their official production number. Every barrel OPEC can produce, they can sell. The good news for us is that America, Canada, and other non-OPEC countries, we're producing more oil than we've produced in years. And we're still ramping up our production. Canada has so much more oil it can produce if only it had pipelines with which to move it.
Yes.
But Sierra Clubs of the world, they've ensured that that isn't going to happen quite as easily.
Yeah, we'd rather put it on a train or a truck.
And that's what we're doing. A lot of oil is on trains right now and moving, and it's got a buyer for it. So that's what's going on with this oil thing. It is up $2 a barrel right now, though. They are hyping it up with the talk, but the reality is they can't deliver the goods. They're too addicted to bribes. Plus, of course, Russia is selling its oil at up to 30-40% off the official world price on black market deals. And a lot of ships in the Black Sea, you've got two tankers that meet each other at the Black Sea, and one tanker is transferring oil from its tanker to the other tanker. That is Russian oil going into a Turkish tanker, and that Turkish tanker comes to Turkey. That's not Russian oil. That's oil on the Turkish tanker. There's no one's breaking rules here.
Into a green thingy.
It's a different thingy. And Saudi Arabia is buying Russian oil in international waters all over the place, bringing the oil to Saudi Arabia. The oil immediately goes into a pipeline system where the oil is burned at electric plants. Saudi Arabia makes a lot of electricity from burning oil, and they're burning Russian oil because they can buy it for 30% less than they sell their oil for, you see. So the Saudi oil goes into big oil tankers all around the world for US money. The Russian oil comes into Saudi Arabia at 30% less, and Saudis burn it off to make electricity for themselves at a nice discount. So the electricity costs in Saudi Arabia are very low. It's a wonderful country. It's a really great place, except if you're a journalist going into certain embassies. It's a wonderful place to deal with. Great people, super folks at the top. They're incredible. The Ginsu knives sell very well in Saudi Arabia. Really, they really do. It cut through anything real quick. In any event, Jen.
So it's going to be this one.
Oh, I think something orange today
Orange.
Today's the day for something orange.
I was going to offer you egg, but yes, you can have orange.
I'm happy going orange with that, but really toasted up.
Really toasted.
Yesterday it was still really spongy, but yeah, crispy.
Okay.
Oh, the bagel is coming. You gotta love this. Thank you so much. Woohoo! Gotta love this. Thank you all for being here today, joining in, having fun. Let's see what's going on. Colin Bruce, I just bought back my GameStop 2550. That's going to expire on Friday. Do we write again right away or wait or what? Well, we're up to 2653, so You can write a 27 for this Friday. You could take that shot. You could write a 27 for next Friday. Take that shot. Bring in some cash. Don't be sitting naked. Let's go. Grim, that door needs WD-40, Uncle B. It's a squeaker. Well, that's how I know she's coming in. Coyote, we freaking did it. Recession is over. Yay! Bill's going, hello, Jen. So same with John. Hello, Jen. Brian, guys, I wonder if Bruce will have a bagel again today. I wonder. Michael, Rugman saved us from a recession. Yay! Brian, good morning, Jen. Mirko, Zed, BC, always be writing. I guess that's what Bruce will say exactly. Rugman saved us. Tiff, I'm a bit surprised that you guys and girls are already doing rollovers. It's only Tuesday. It's not even Thursday. It's Tuesday. Still have time to cross arms. JR, recession over, freaking sweet. When it comes back in a few days, my call options are waiting. Coyote, Rugman is not the hero we need. He is the hero we deserve. DQ, it's Tuesday. Michael, I believe it's Tuesday. Must be a hell of a virus. You need help with this. This is the product right here. Made with real cheese, fait avec du vrai fromage. It's truly. Let's see.
Don't hold your breath.
Oh my gosh!
There it goes.
There it goes. Cheese food. Yes, thank you, Jen, so much. Yummy cheese food. Said Mirko, but GameStop looks like it may go for a run. Right options immediately. Bobby, fish on my calls are feeling happy as my hook sinks in the next few days. Tip Tuesday. Sorry, I mix both days up for decades now. English, that is. Coyote, Zeta State, the whole market is up. Tip. And the corona messes with my brain, says Tip. Mirko, Zed, you can always wait and write when it starts falling. It's just hard to hit the highest levels, lowest lows. I would write immediately. Right freaking now. We're up 669. Right. Contracts. JRP. Yeah, let's blame it on the surveys. Zed, Gaudi, the Fed may not like this. Michael, just don't lose your head over to that Saudi info. JR, dude, special order bakers, life is good. Brian, Mirko, GameStop seems to have highs around 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. market time, not all time, but seems to be the trend. Bobby, made by the company called Real Cheese. JR, oh, Uncle Bruce, the sight of that orange garbage makes me want to barf. That orange stuff, you go to like a Safeway store, you'll pay $11 for that jar. Buy that jar at Costco, $5.89. Unbelievably cheap because it's just cheese food. But you know what? It's just part of the DNA. What can I say? We've had it since we were kids. But it's the Canadian version of cheese whiz, not the American version. The American version is really bad. Oh, it's really bad. JJ, Uncle Bruce, are Canadian cheesesteaks cheesier than original Gangsta Philly cheesesteaks? I have no idea. I have not had an original Philly cheesesteak to compare with, so can't say until I get to Philly. If I ever get to Philly, I do not know. That is the truth. We're up 80 on HPQ. Take a look at opportunities to write on those if you get any. The Dow is up 613, S&P up 93, at least at one last report. Let's take a look right now. Yeah, we're up 93 on S&P, still 613 on the Dow. We got GameStop at 2650, 2657. Up 119, the high today 26.93 today, the low of 25.95. So we've had a $1 swing almost on the stock, and we're at 26.57 right now. That's where we're at here on the GameStop. Up 119 at the moment, up 119 at the time. We're up 679 on the Dow right now. All right. Updated headline, a correction. Micron to invest up to $100 billion to build a chip fabrication facility in New York. Interesting comments there. That's interesting. Very interesting. All righty. What else is going on? Oil up 217 to 85.80. And we've got Tesla 251.32 up 819. We may have topped out here a little bit. We've hit, it looks like 250, 299, and we're at 250, 132, and there's no more follow through on the movement of the stock at the moment. The Dow up 725 right now, trying again for a run, catching some short traders short. This will not last much longer, but hey, it's okay. It's fine. If it makes you guys richer, I'm a happy guy. Michael, why would they choose New York? They tax your taxes here. They probably got a deal. They probably got a long-term tax deal that made it really worth their while. I don't know. I can't say. Is it in Chuck Schumer's district? Whose district is this going into? I can't imagine it going into a Republican district. Is it going into a Democratic district? Like what? You guys know. I don't know. I'm just up here in Canada. You tell me. JR, man, let's go mountain climbing on this mound of green money. Tesla 251, Apple 145.68 up 323, GameStop 26.62, 26.57 up 124. SoFi 529 up 16 cents, Rocket Lab up 17 cents, HPQ up 75 to 26.64. We have AMC and Ape combined up 32 cents right now. ME up 18 cents to 309. Matterport up 17 to 408. We got ATIP down a penny at $1. SmartRent 240 up 11 cents. Spire up 4 cents to 114. Cyxtera up 12 to 409. Bed Bath Beyond up 34 to 633. Pfizer up 53 to 44.66. Boeing up 569 to 131.70. Cisco up $1 to 41.92. I hope some of you out there were able to grab Pfizer and Cisco and HPQ deep in the money calls in the last week for nice low prices, lower exercise rates. You're already laughing as it is. I'm really hopeful for that. Twitter up 21 cents. Home Depot up 588 to 289, still under 300. Carvana up 190 to 23.36, recovering from that $19 print the other day. Robinhood 1054 up 44. Vatic Vectors up $8 to 199.77. IBM up $4 to 125. It was down to 119, 118 the other day. Little bounce there. Microsoft up 849 to 249. Goldman up 12 to 311. Good to see Goldman recovering a bit. Bank should be rolling here. Google up 278. Amazon up 633. Carnival up 45 cents. Royal Caribbean up 192. Target up 449. JP Morgan up $4. Costco up $9. Walmart up 240. Nvidia up 479 now to 129.91. Disney back to $100 at up 316 a share, back to $100. Moderna up 494 to 125.93. Good to see that. And if Moderna options need to be rolled from 120 to 125 or something, we'll look into it, but not necessary right at this point in time. Interesting day here. 679 gain on the Dow. We're up 93 on S&P, 315 on NASDAQ. That is the story right now. 26.57 on GameStop is what we seem to have right now. 26.57, 26.52. U.S. factory orders were flat in August, and U.S. job openings fell sharply in August. Interesting. Thank you, ma'am. Could you close this one? Yeah, it's right here. And that'll get the sunshine glare off of here. It's too sunny. It's just too sunny right now. How about that? That's a little better contrast.
They're just too
Perfect.
darn loud.
They're just too. I'm afraid you're just too darn loud. There you go. Thank you, Jen. We got the orange one. Oh yeah, baby. We got the orange bagel, the toasted sesame seed Costco bagel with Canadian cheese whiz on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, job openings. Here we go. The headline, U.S. job openings fell sharply in August. Job openings in the previous month was 11.2 million job openings. Job openings now, 10.1 million. 4 million quit last month, 4.2 million quit this past month. Turnovers. Interesting stuff, but that's the kind of news the Fed wants to see. But with 10 million job openings, my God, still an absolute ton of jobs available right here. Watching all kinds of activity and reports coming out. We'll wait for that. A whole lot more statistics will be coming at us over the next several days. We'll follow that. Tesla right now 252.21, 253.31. Very good for those of you looking to write 260 contracts. Hopefully your stink bids are getting hit and you're getting your fair share. We've got the Dow right now is up 735, S&P up 100. And the Nasdaq up 347. The Nasdaq's up 3.2%, S&P up 2.7, the Dow up 2.5. Second good day in a row going at the moment, but oil seems to be slipping a little. It's up 194 now. It was up closer to 260 a little while ago, and it looks like the Dow has just backed off, just a titch. We'll see if there's much to this. Hard to say. GameStop 26.77. Up $1.39. The high of the day on GameStop, 26.93 today has been the high, and we're at 26.77 right now for the moment. Oh yeah. Brian, Micron probably got a tax deal. I would believe so. And this is what happened in Alberta. I think so too. Amazon. Michael, Amazon started building a giant one by office, but I think they stopped. DH, I sold my GameStop October 21. Long calls. Looking for another 90-10 opportunity. Interesting. JR, this is great. Was able to buy back some puts I was waiting on. Folding arms the folding arm strategy really works, Uncle Bruce. It does. Zach, Bruce has a bagel with Wiz. All is right in the world again. Yay! Wing Commander, oh dear, just finished my day-long customer call. Dropped in here to see Uncle Bruce take a huge bite out of a bagel. Oh my God, I'm thumbs up 195. Thank you so much. Oh yeah. You're going to love it. Oh, yeah. Sweet ride, baby. Sweet ride. Did I win anything? Did I miss anything? Is there something going on GameStop? Nothing. There's nothing going on. Right? Contracts. Lorraine, I'm number 196 on the thumbs up meter, Bruce. We got 197 here right now. You guys are so cool. 3 more thumbs up. So we've got 200 yet again. Yeah, baby. Thank you. Alberto. And Tesla has a mandated arms cross scenario. Laugh out loud. There you go. 253.37. You cross your arms, fold them, relax, watch it run. Or not. Mirko says, Uncle Bruce, you have to warn us explicitly eating bagels for 2 days now. And of course, markets are going up just like clockwork. And you have a degree in watchmaking? Coincidence? I don't think so. Man, I'm onto something here, laughing out loud. This guy eats bagels and markets goes up. Giddy up. We love getting richer. I love it when you guys get richer. I'd rather if I had my choice, I'd rather you are writing contracts on GameStop 29 to 31 rather than 24 to 26 because you're writing options on more valuable stock. 3 months from now, you're writing 35s. 6 months from now, you're writing 40s to 50s. I'm a happy guy. You're writing on much more valuable paper and deep in the money contracts. I love this. If it wants to go up, it goes up. But I don't have the faith that it's got the legs and the depth to do it for very much longer. That's what I'm wondering about. We'll see. We're up 743 on the Dow, 99 on S&P, 345 on NASDAQ. And U.S. factory orders are flat in August. This is a headline. U.S. orders flat in August as expansion in the manufacturing sector slows down. And U.S. job openings dropped below 11 million for the first time since November 2021. Interesting. So that's the kind of talk we're getting. Now, here's the next question. How many job openings are there going to be now that the hurricane Ian has ripped up Florida and has been destroying Carolinas? Are there going to be thousands of new jobs, hundreds of thousands of new jobs for reconstruction and rebuilding coming up? Got to imagine Home Depot, the stock is going up because of the upturn in business they're going to get. Even if a Home Depot store gets ripped up, it doesn't matter. To build a new Home Depot store, what is it? A concrete slab, steel bracing with a quick roof on it. You're back in business. And you can create a Home Depot temp location out of an inflatable tent. You know, those gigantic sprung structures, and then build a new store beside it. I mean, you're in business very quickly, which allows Home Depot to generate hundreds of millions of dollars in additional sales at multiple locations. You can imagine also that contractors are ordering building supplies from Home Depots all over Florida, which are being trucked in for emergency delivery. The business is going to soar in that area. What gets destroyed might need to be replaced. JR, okay. It must be an old man thing, Bruce. I rub my fingers together to get the crumbs off just like that myself. It's got to be it. 2706 on GameStop, up 168. We're at the high today. Mirko, no problem with that. Thank you. Moonman Moon, 200 thumbs ups, Bruce. Thank you so much for these 200 thumbs ups, you guys. Every day, every time. You guys are awesome. Brian, GameStop 2715. It's running higher. It is. Option opportunities, rollover opportunities. You're getting richer. It's as simple as that. Do any of you have deep in the money options on GameStop? Do any of you have 15s that you bought when the stock was 24? Do any of you have 10s that you bought when the stock was 24, 25? You're all getting richer. Your calls are rising faster than the calls you wrote against them. You're getting richer. Mm. 27.21 on GameStop. High of the day, 27.24. Okay. Alberto. Right on insurance companies during hurricane season, it's always a home run. Brian. Alberto, how many stocks do you write on at a time? Wayne, arms crossed. Alberto, 5 to 6 I write on, but usually multiple contracts. Right on, buddy. Alberto is a busy man. Working hard here. We're up 747 on the Dow, 101 on S&P, 352 on NASDAQ. We're up 180 on oil. Oil seems to be backing up just a bit. The Dow is on track for the biggest two-day gain since June 2020. The recovery from COVID. Ten-year yield falls to 3.6% after data releases on factory orders and job openings. Okay. There are those in the market that are looking for any excuse to want in, to go long. Because remember, Wall Street never says sell. No one on Wall Street tells you to get out. They always want you to get in. Using this little 1 million job differential as an excuse to jump into this market is a sad excuse. 4 million turnovers again last month. This is people walking with their feet, getting serious raises, leaving 10 million still unfilled jobs. The workers are getting their fair share, finally. I bought a GameStop January 17, 2025, strike $10 for $16.65 last Friday. Beautiful. The book value on that is over 17 now. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, just hang on to it. You're going to use it to write options on it. Keep writing. Wing Commander Uncle Bruce for strike 26 expiring this Friday. When is a good point to do a rollover if needed? Wednesday, Thursday? What do you think? Probably. Yeah, probably. Unless the option chain gives you a gift. If you can do a rollover where you can buy your 26 back and write a 27 for next week or the week after for more money, move up a buck and get paid to do it. Great. Well, look at GameStop now, 26.85, 26.80. We've already given up 40 cents here, just like that. I mean, these moves are fleeting. 1 million shares traded on GameStop. I mean, that's 250,000 pre-split. We're not going anywhere here. I mean, we can't keep up the pace of this move. You can have a good day, though. Yeah, you could have a good day. It's okay. You could have a good couple of days, sure. But long term, so always be looking, always be watching, or cross your arms. Yeah. I think so. In the history of a month from now, you look at the chart and you'll see today and yesterday and you'll go, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Dead cat bounce. Alberto, I love writing on Google, Tesla, GameStop, CINF, BA, and a few other small ones. Brian, Alberto, that must be a lot of work. Brian, good on you. Wing Commander, that cat should have stayed dead. Share, man, my Rocket Lab shares are killing it. Should I sell Uncle Bruce? Do you think this is the all-time high for Rocket Lab? Do you really? I don't think so. I got it. It's funny. They didn't learn the same lesson less than 2 months ago, laughing out loud. Right, Alberto, Brian, I've averaged down to market value, so I really don't care which way it goes. Up, down, I make money. This angry, bald shorty has set many of us free. Keep writing. Nazareth, with the gains I made on SPY puts, close those now. I bought 3,000 SoFi, 300 GameStop, other stocks. Going to be able to write a bunch more calls now, says Nazareth. There you go. Going to be writing, and always be writing. 253 on Tesla, up 10.79. We lost $21 yesterday. It only got 10 back. We're up 736 on the Dow, and Tesla's only up $10. What does that tell you? Think about that. There's no recovery here. There is no $30 snapback rally on Tesla. Huh. No, isn't that odd? Look at Apple, 145.90. It's come down from the 160 range down to here. Why isn't it up $10 today? What do you think? That's kind of odd. Could it be that the iPhone 14 isn't selling as well as projected? Even though the price didn't go up? Could that be it? That's odd. Oh. Anomalies. Yeah. Alex, I rolled from 25 to 25.50 on HBQ yesterday. and 25.5 to 26 today at no cost. I've given up a bit of time though. Original contract expired Friday, and now I'm October 28th. Sweet rag. Your stock is up. You're richer. Nice going. It's true what you say. An up move feels like a loss, but really, I was relieved my poor man covered calls have popped up a little bit. That's right. That's right. JR, did we just top out? I don't know. We're up 699 on the Dow. Maybe. $26.85 on GameStop. Hang on a sec. Okay. That bagel's great. $689 gain on the Dow. The high was 30,278 for the Dow. 30,278. We're at 30,179. We've given up 100 points. So we were up 788. Now we're up 688. Watch for that. A pullback would not be unreasonable. Some kind of a partial, but we'll just see what we really get here. Are we going to get more than a partial little pullback? Tesla 252.69 up 10.29. It got up to 254.59. It's lost about $2 from its high in just the last couple of minutes on Tesla. Again, to be expected. Cross arms time. Who cares? Not able to listen to Uncle Bruce this morning, but watching the chat here. I'm hoping we top out soon. Otherwise, it's roll time probably tomorrow noon. JR, futures are heading down a bit. Alberto, let us wait until closer to expiry dates to start rolling. Bobby, it was going to be my DCA day. What's DCA stand for? I'm obviously out of touch with that term. GameStop 26.77, 26.75. We're backing up a little more now from the high of the day that we were looking at earlier here. Interesting. The Dow up 691 right now. 26.78 on GameStop, up 140. The high was 27.24. So we're about 50 cents off the high right now. 26.75, 26.74. 50 cents off the high on GameStop. SoFi 532 up 19 cents. Nice to see SoFi at 530. Volume on SoFi today 10.2 million, not incredibly heavy at all. Rocket Lab 444 up 13 cents. HPQ 2671 up 82. ME at 309.5 up 18.5. Matterport up 14.5 to 405 a share. ATIP is positive 0.8 of a penny. Half a penny roughly. Smart Rent up what looks like 12 cents to 241. Spire up 2.5 to 112.5. Sextera up a penny, 398. Bed Bath Beyond up 30. Pfizer up 36. Boeing up 530. Cisco up 98 cents. Twitter up 14. Home Depot up 621. Carvana up 152. Robinhood up 50. Vanik up 727. IBM is up 370. Microsoft up 901. Goldman up 1020. Google up 280. Amazon up 615, outperforming it, but trading at a much higher multiple. Meta up 150. BlackBerry up 15 cents. Royal Caribbean up 234. JP Morgan up 350. Costco up 750. Walmart up $2. Nvidia up 5. Moderna up 376. Okay. There it is. The Dow now is up, I think we're up 690. Let me double check that, get my refreshing through here. 696 is the gain on the Dow. Those sesame seeds are awful damn good, I'll tell you that. 96-point gain on the S&P. NASDAQ up 331. So we're up 3% on NASDAQ. 2.6% on S&P and 2.3% on the Dow so far. That is the deal. Oil up 184 at the moment, a little lower on oil from its earlier run. Zach, dollar cost averaging. Tiff, Alex, right? My 3 HBQ poor man cover calls have been down 1,000. Now they're only down 633. I made $600 writing on them, and all I need to do is roll into late October to be fine with my current covered calls. Exactly. 3 months from now, Tiff, you'll have written, rolled over, bought back, written, but you're going to be up, 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 even if the stock stays here. I mean, that's the best part about it. Dollar cost average, thumbs up, says Alex. Aaron, DCA is basically my averaging down. Oh, okay. Dollar cost averaging. Bobby, dollar cost average. There it is. Don't count anvils. That's another way to call it. And Alex, that too. Don't count anvils. JR, just curious, how many anvils Acme used during the Wile E. Coyote days? That company, Acme, made a fortune on Wile E. Coyote. He was a genius. The products maybe didn't work out for him, but they worked. They certainly did their thing. But I mean, I'm amazed at how many anvils he had to buy, considering they're pretty hard to break. But Wile E. Coyote trying to get that Roadrunner, I'll tell you, we're up 702 on the Dow here, trying to hang around these levels. A little buy program coming in. We'll see just if this market can maintain these levels, or will it start to succumb to profit taking. Tesla 252.80 up 1040. Apple up 341 to 145.86. GameStop 26.66 up 128. Still slipping ever so little from these 27, 24 highs. Down about 54 cents right now, 26.70, 71. SoFi 533 up 20 right here. And then HBQ 2671. I love seeing these HBQs, Cisco's, Pfizer's, all these stocks where you have purchased deep in the money calls go up. This is what I want for you. I want you to make money on your deep in the money calls as they rise in value. I want you making money on the stock you hold that you're writing options on that lifts your account values everywhere. And I want you to make money on rollovers as you roll forward, and any slight leveling off of the market or slight pullback, those deep and those rolled over calls just plummet for you. And of course, time is your friend as it keeps paying you to be here. Nicely done. Okay. What else going on? Alberto, he's laughing here. Bobby Elmer was a customer as well. Alberto's laughing. Nazareth, I'm not sure what Nazareth means by this. Gary Oldman meme from The Professional. Everyone, I don't know what that means. I'm too old, I guess. 727 gain on the Dow as it's trying to come up to the high of the day, 278, 30,278. We're at 30,218. If we don't reach another higher high, there could be some faltering here. We'll see if this plays out. But at the moment, here we are. We're coming into the first hour of trading. Welcome, everybody. It's been an eventful first hour, wouldn't you say? GameStop 26.67, up 129, but it's backed off in the last 20 minutes from 27.24. Uncle Bruce, it's a meme. The kids will get it. Got it. Thank you, Nazareth. That's all I need to know. I'm off the hook on this one. It's good. There you go. 709 gain on the Dow right now. Interesting. Interesting comment here. If Powell gives up this fight, you're going to see Bitcoin and other assets take right back off, says Galaxy Digital CEO. I don't think Powell's backing off. I don't think so. I don't think so. All dream all you want, but I don't think Powell is backing off at all. No, he's going to get more aggressive, crushing inflation. He knows. He knows if he doesn't, the Fed loses all its credibility. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going to do it. 26.66 on GameStop. Apple up 3.46. Tesla up $11, 253.50. 56. Way to go, everybody out there. Hope you're all having fun out there and writing options and making money and bringing in option premiums. This would be lovely. Congratulations, one and all, you option writers. This market is perfect for you guys. It's perfect. Do not fear upside. There is no real upside here. There's fluctuations. Yes. There's volatility. Yes. But is there downside? Yes. I think so. Yes, I think so. 208 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for that already. Appreciate 208. If you could throw us a thumbs up, hit it. Hit that thumbs up button for us. I appreciate it. That would be great. Let's see what else is going on here. Looking at commentary and the markets, we're up 736 on the Dow right now. 736. That's what we got at the moment. And Biden reported to be further restricting chip exports to China. And what else? Anything else to really talk about here? Not really. Not really at this point. Okay. Thank you all for popping in here and joining us today. It's so great to have you. Zach, I had a chance to speak to my actual uncle this weekend, who was quite the market man. It was very quick. I told him I wanted to learn from him. I told him I like writing cover calls. His eyes bugged out of his head. And he said, "Don't get too fancy now." All right. Nazareth, Powell won't back off till January, March when we hit financial bottom. Nazareth, I was just thinking of that scene yesterday. Coyote Zach, he thinks that's fancy. Zach, I need to follow up with him. He looked like he'd seen a ghost when I told him about that. Alberto, see you all this afternoon. Patience, grasshoppers. Right on, my friend. Thank you, Alberto. You have a great morning, rest of your day, and I'll catch you later today, of course. Zach, Coyote Zach, he's just anti-options. What is his strat? Susan, I'm too late to buy HPQ poor man cover calls today. Or would you? The $15 strike is about $12.25. A quick review of the 90-10, please. Well, the stock is at $26.72, and if you're buying the 15s, their book value is $11.72, and if you're paying $12.25 for an $11.72 book value, that's a good buy. That's a very good buy. I'd buy those even today, and I would write on that contract immediately. I would write maybe a $27.50 contract for next week. 28 for next week or the week after, and bring in some premium right away on that buy right now. Yeah, I'd hold it, because the upside for HBQ isn't like 28 or 29. The upside for you is the stock goes to 40 over the next 6 months, and your contract will be worth $25 book value plus premium. It'll be a $26, $27 contract, and you're paying $12 for it, and writing options in the meantime against it. Nice. John Anderson, thank you, everybody. Zach, Alberto, later, buddy. Coyote, Susan shops about 100%. What would be book value with $27.25? What is the current stock price? Zach, he's almost 80, so I'm sure it's buy and hold over there. Yeah, I'm sure he's a buy and hold man. Zach, man, yeah, laugh out loud for sure. And nothing wrong with buy and hold, but when you get into your 80s, you have to have buy income, and you have to have income coming in. You have to have income. Gody, that would be great when you're 80 and got to hold stock from the 70s to 2000. Yes, Alberto, Zach, made that dinero. Make that dinero. Rock and roll, kids. The Dow's up 729, trying to get to a new high of the day. Tesla's at 254.18, trying to hit higher highs. Apple 146. GameStop is now 26.53. It's backing off a little more from this 27.24 range. So GameStop is not going higher. It's actually going lower right now. SoFi 532, Rocket Lab 445 up 14, and HBQ 27.78, 26.78 up 89. Susan shops about Coyotes, a current stock price 26.70 right there. Yeah, those calls at that price or lower are a good idea. You might try a stink bid of 12.05 or 11.85. If you get lucky, they come to you there and grab them. Write 27s, 28s on your contract, on your stock. Why not? Yeah. Okay, everybody. Uncle Bruce, do you think harvest season will start sooner this year? AKA bear market last year, started November. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't really answer that in any real way. I'm just reacting to the market as I'm watching it. I'm just reacting to the reacting. The high of the day, 30,278. We're at 30,225. Have not come back to the high of the session at the moment. We're near it, close to it. Is there a computer buying program that's going to take us to a higher high? Or is this it? What's going on? Bobby Askin is actually asking about the tax harvest season. That's what he was wondering about. I don't know. Nazareth, I wrote 41 GameStop contracts for October 14th. A $27 strike. I got $1.50 for them. That's a cool $6,000 for holding stock for 10 days. It's not bad. Not a bad thing to hold either poor man covered calls or stock for 10 days. Yes, writing those contracts, and of course the stock now at 26.65, 26.55. Interesting how it's backing up a bit. These are 20. What did you say? 27s, and you've written out of the money calls. This stock wants to go to 25.50 this afternoon or tomorrow. Are you laughing? Oh, are you ever laughing? Zach, my GameStop 28.50s. I just wrote a few minutes ago. They paid me 99 cents. I'm already 5 cents in the money. I've got a stink bit buyback at 46. Arms are crossed. Come and give them to me. I'll buy them back at 46. Thank you very much. Well done, Zach. Well done. Right at these levels and take the money off the table. Thank you very much. The gamblers are gambling. You're the one. You're the casino. Give them the odds and let them give you the money up front. I love this. Good stuff, Zach. Good stuff. Apple 146.10 up 365. Tesla 254 up 11. The Dow is up 728 and GameStop 2669.74 range. SoFi 534, HBQ 2674. We've got anybody else having a really good day here? Not really a really good day. Boeing up 591, 131.96. Pfizer's up 21. Cisco's up $1. That's a good day. 41.92. Anybody buy deep in the money Cisco's? I sure hope so. Home Depot's up $7 to 290. That's not bad. That's cool. IBM up 379. Microsoft holding 932. And Microsoft got up to 250.35. It's 249.91. Right up near the high for Microsoft. Not that bad, but the low of the year, 232. The high, 349. We're $100 below the high of the year on Microsoft. Don't get too excited with a $9 gain today. Coyote, I think many people have their tax losses covered this year already. Zach, Uncle Bruce, I watched class number 4 this weekend, Aggressive Strategies. It was really interesting. I need to watch the puts part again to understand more. Mostly, I like the 1-year history view. SoFi was at 15. Yeah, isn't that something? Now things have changed. Mirko, Uncle Bruce, I just did what you said. Rolled 10 GameStop 26 October 7 into 27s for October 14 with a 15-cent profit. It's $150 cash and a $1,000 gain in strike. You just made $1,150 more into your pocket potentially. Just raised your upside by $1,150, and you got paid to do it. Isn't this lovely? Cindy, I think I have my tax losses set for the next few years. Who cares? I think I need to create an Uncle Bruce 9010 calculator website for this group. There you go. What can I say? The Dow right now is ahead 737, 30,228. We got GameStop at 27. Is that right? I'm not sure if that's accurate. Hang on a second. Let me double check here. No, 2670 on the GameStop. Up 132. We're at 207, 30,207 on the Dow, up 716. My phone is glitching these days. The Yahoo Finance thing on the phone is glitching sometimes, gives me weird numbers. Market Watch seems to be pretty consistent at the moment. Okay. Sheryl Sandberg's $3 million to aid ACLU fight for abortion rights. This issue is the one where we have taken the biggest single step backwards. That is one of the largest shareholders of Facebook. Sheryl Sandberg's been there from day one. She just left the company, making donations to causes she believes in. Interesting. Interesting stuff. What else is going on here? Alberto, who cares? Yes, sir. And please share it. Tiff, who cares? Please do it. Octavio, just rolled my 10, 21, 26 GameStop. Bought back at 243, then sold 10, 28, 26s for 282. I just took the extra 40 cents off the table. So thank you. Hand me that money. Right on. Yes, who cares? Says Lisa. Please do this. Bobby, I built a calculator in Excel a few weeks back for the 90-10 rule. Who cares? Okay, it's not a hard calculation, but I still get wrapped up doing my stuff. Constantine, I wrote November for $28 covered calls on GameStop for a 244 premium. Lovely. Take that money. That's like taking $10 off the table, pre-split, you know. It's good money. Coyote, who cares? I made one for myself in my workbook. I just plug in the price of the option, the current stock price, calculate the percentage. Bingo. Who cares? Coyote, are you sharing it on the Discord? There you go. Questions all over. 736 gain on the Dow. Apple up 369. GameStop 2675 at the moment. That's where we're at right now. We got oil up only 161, backing off again, another 20 cents. Alberto, Coyote, share it. Have Uncle Bruce email it to me. Coyote, well, it's my private workbook, but I can share the page if you like. There you go. Well done, everybody. Way to go, kids. Well done out there. Interesting stuff. But the pound is climbing. UK bond yields fall again amid conflicting information on whether debt reducing plans to be released early. So that's the story. We'll see what's going on. We're watching a lot of stuff here right now. And GameStop is offering opportunities to write calls and do rollovers. I say take advantage of these moments. Put more money in your account. Same with Tesla, which you've been doing this morning. Let the stock now at 254.95. Just sit there, cross your arms. If you've written 250s, 260s, 270s, do nothing. Relax, and let's see what happens on the day. For sure. SoFi 534. Nice to see it over 5. A couple days in a row, we've had a little up move here. Rocket Lab 449, going for 450 now in Rocket Lab. Nice to see that. HPQ, nice to see a 90-cent gain on the stock. That's helping deep in the money calls go up. You're probably noticing how your deep in the money calls are rising. Not 90 cents for 90 cents, but they're rising nicely against that 90-cent move. That is good stuff, everybody. Well done, all of you. Pfizer up 24, Cisco up 97. Those poor man covered calls, those deep money calls are rising nicely too. Home Depot up 6. Look at IBM up 358 to 125. Lovely. Microsoft up 915. Goldman up 1150 to 310. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Putting those deep in the money calls back in the money or further in the money. Lovely. Google up 323. And Amazon up 692. I know some of you bought Google deep in the money calls. I hope you're doing well. You should be doing well on those with improvements on Google now the last little bit. Although, looking at the last month, they were in that 111, 112 range, only at 102 right now. We haven't come back at all the way on Google. No. And that's what I want you to remember with this rally right now in this market. We haven't rallied to new highs. We're still trying to come out of the hole we've been coming into in the last 2 weeks. And I think this is a temporary move. And we're going to go back down again. I'm sorry to say, I think we're going lower. That's why you can do rollovers today. Take advantage of this little uptick. You take advantage of those as you take advantage of dips, of course. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go here. Who cares is saying, I put together an Excel myself for all this. Alberto, is that your email, Coyote? Nazareth, I would expect, I would export it to the Excel and save it, then share on Discord as a single file, not the link cloud. Bobby, is this new Discord not the original haters one, right? It's the new one. Alberto, Bobby, the reason I went on to the original Discord lasted one session, too many haters. Tiff, what's that, Booby? We have a new one but they talk about the old one. Bobby, I never went to the old one. Nazareth, we will go higher for a couple of days. Maybe 2 weeks, then we go back down, correlating to 2008 market for reference. Tiff, go to add server and enter that code there if you want to join. There you go. Hopefully that makes sense to some of you. The Dow is up 678 now as we're coming back again. We got GameStop at 2692, a little better, but the Dow is easing off a little bit here now. 678 gain on the Dow. We're backing off. We're at 30,185, and we got up to 30,278 earlier today. We're almost off 100 from the high of the day. See if this continues on. We'll follow that. 30,178 up, 687 on the Dow Jones. GameStop 2690, Tesla 254.89, SoFi 536 up 22, and HBQ 2674 up 86 cents. Bobby, I'll ask another day at work. Cannot play that much. Aurora, what is the new Discord account? Thanks. If you want to know, if you want to be linked to the Discord account and get that info, you can always send me a private email here at brucefarmer@hotmail.com, and then I'll connect you to some of the folks here who are part of that Discord group, and they'll help you link in. Okay, let me know if any of you want to take lessons on how to write options and make money like these folks are making money in a bear market. Go to my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head over there. You'll find my homepage there. You'll find my classes tab on the upper corner up here. Hit that tab, and you'll see all the classes listed. There are 13 classes. Start at number 1. Watch all 13 at your leisure, whenever you want, as many times as you want. You only have to buy one class at a time when you're ready to do so, or whenever, and then learn all about what is happening here with this channel, how these folks are making money in a bear market writing options. Become part of the party. Don't just listen and watch the party. Become part of it. Become a member of this channel and join these kids over here talking about how it's going. You have questions, they'll help you answer it just like I will. And let's go from there. Thank you, Bruce. I'll email you, says Aurora. Yeah, I posted on Discord. It says Coyote. Bobby, emailing you now, Uncle Bruce. Thank you. Alberto, what's the Discord, Coyote? There you go. Zach, hey, Bruce, you mentioned that some emails end up in your junk folder. Did you ever see the one I sent you from Palm Springs Rentals? If not, I will resend. I did see it, Zach, and I thank you for that. And none of them would have worked for us, but I did get it, and I appreciate it because I check my junk mails all the time, and I immediately find one of you sending me an email goes to junk. I say no junk, and then from then on, it's no more junk emails. Thank you guys for being there for us. We're still looking for a condo to rent in the desert. Haven't found one yet that satisfies us. We still haven't found one, so we're looking. We'll see. Zach got it. Rock and roll, buddy. Okay, we're up 708 points on the Dow. GameStop 2705, trying to come back up again. 2704, 2707 in that range. SoFi 536 right now. HBQ up 88 cents. Folks, I'll be back on this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern for the final hour of the day today. I invite you to join me this afternoon for that final hour of trading, and let's see how things smooth out. If you have any urgent questions in the meantime, send me an email, and I'll try to get back to you with that. Thank you, those of you who have become new members, who've joined up today. It's great that you're here. Hit that membership button, what is it, down there, and become a member of this channel, especially you Gold Bagel members. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, live with Uncle Bruce, prime time, 8 o'clock Eastern for Gold Bagel members only, and we'll talk about everything that's going on here, and we'll try to help you with your account and help you figure out what you're doing. Thank you all for being here and your support of this channel. It's just incredible. Uncle Bruce, I tried to Uncle Bruce previously, but I'm not sure if he got it, but I will try to send the spreadsheet to Uncle Bruce in case anyone wants to look at it. It's a simple calculator where you plug in the variables. Rock and roll. Constant Dean, I have a green day, everybody. Thank you, Uncle B. Thank you all so much. We're up 698 on the Dow. We're just kind of meandering around the highs. Could we give up some ground? Yes. How much? I don't know. Could it go red later today? Yeah. Not counting on it, but we could ease off and have a really red day tomorrow. I don't know. Make sure you've made your moves on your contracts. Way to go, everybody. 255 on Tesla, Apple 145, GameStop 2702 right now. is what we're looking at the moment. 538 on SoFi. I love seeing SoFi go up, just go up. Rocket Lab 451, keep going. I love it. Alberto to Coyote, and who cares? Thanks. Credit Savage. Oh, would you look at that SoFi? It's popping a bit. Can't wait for the number pop after earnings. I'm going to sell some cute little covered calls for at least $2 a share. Papa needs a new pair of shoes. Alberto, the credit hells yes. 538 on your SoFi. Let's hope it goes to $6 or $7 or $8, and you can start writing $10 calls for some real money. Wouldn't that be lovely? 673 is the gain on the Dow, but we are backing up just incrementally. Now 662, giving up a little more momentum on the Dow at 30,153. Now we're down 125 points from the high of the day. This is the lowest level since the run-up, and we are backing up a titch right now. And that isn't surprising. It is, after all, and now, what is it now? An hour and a half into the market, or an hour 20 minutes into this market. We're up 95 on S&P, 348 on NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is still up 3.27 of a percentage, 3.27%. S&P up 2.6 and the Dow up 2.2. But these are slowly beginning to fade ever so slightly. We may have waves here. We'll watch this, obviously, all day long. 27.12 on your GameStop. The high of the day, 27.24. 12 cents away from here if it can get there. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. I don't know. We'll see. But we love it. Love that you guys are making money. Okay, I'll see you at 3 this afternoon, everybody. Thanks for your thumbs ups and support. 215 thumbs ups. Keep them coming in, guys. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now.